This is News with the Disney Dude. Please like this video, subscribe to this channel for more content, and please hit that thumbs up if you like the video. Here now's the news for Friday, May 8th of 2026. And we're going to begin with a kind of a rant. So, the Magic Kingdom Let the Magic Begin welcome show that happens every single morning, is now permanently it is permanently closing. It is not returning. This was originally to facilitate the Cinderella Castle repainting, but Disney has now said that the welcome show will not be coming back. It will now just be a pre-recorded announcement. This is garbage. This is absolute garbage. You know, there is no reason for Disney to get rid of this welcome show, okay? This is ridiculous. Absolutely asinine. Okay, look, back in my day, back when I was a kid in the 90s, okay, when we went to the Magic Kingdom, the welcome show at the beginning of the day was all of the characters, well, figuratively speaking, all of the characters arriving on the Walt Disney World Railroad, and they did a little mini show in front of the train station right before you entered the Magic Kingdom. I know, operationally, I understand, they were like, this is backing up foot traffic. We need to put the show in a different spot. So they put it in front of Cinderella Castle, which operationally I get. That's, it totally makes sense. But for them to just cut it out completely and and they're like, no, we're just going to have a pre-recorded welcome message, from now on. I think that's ridiculous. That is absolutely garbage. I'm going to tell people, go to guest relations and at the Blue Umbrellas, at any of the guest relations spots in the park, and let them know that you are not happy with them getting rid of Let the Magic Begin welcome show. Don't be an ass. Don't be, don't scream and yell at them because it's not their fault. But let the cast members know, because all of those complaints go to Disney directly. And I'll tell you that if enough people complain about it, Disney will do something about it. So, go to guest relations and physically tell the cast members that, you're upset that that the welcome show is no more. Okay? Don't be an ass. Don't scream and yell at the cast members at the guest relations, because it wasn't their fault. But just let them know. Let them know that this is garbage. This is garbage. This is ridiculous. And Disney needs to bring back, the welcome show or some kind of show. All right? Because this is ridiculous. This was not because of, not enough guests were showing up to it. It was just because, the number crunchers at Disney were like, oh, hey, you know what? We can save some money on performers by not having this show every single morning. Because live entertainment is the first thing that that all of these theme parks cut. Because they don't see live entertainment as a job. They don't. Okay? They see it as money that can be spent back in their pockets or used somewhere else in the parks. Now, I'm not saying that, the stage shows would, go away. Festival of the Lion King, Nemo, The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Indiana Jones, Frozen. Those shows aren't going to go away. Okay, but something like this, or the Streetmosphere, or any atmospheric entertainment in the parks, they're always the first ones to go, because Disney is money. The money. They don't think of these cast members as people. Okay, they don't. They see them as a liability. They see them as, they're costing us money. They're costing me money. So we can cut them and save some money and put money back into our pocket. So again, go to guest relations and tell them that this was a stupid decision. This was a dumb decision. All right. Again, don't yell and scream at the cast members. Just let them know that this was dumb. That this decision was dumb. Level 99 exterior decoration takes shape at Disney Springs. So they're getting this building all set and ready to go. I've walked by it a couple times. It wouldn't be something that I would be interested in going to, but this place is kind of like a place for teens and young adults to go to and hang out. Which obviously I'm not a teen. It's been a long time since I've been a teenager. So this is not really something that's built for me. But if if any of you do go, let me know how this is, because I would, I'm curious. I'm curious. Disney's Wilderness Lodge Boardwalk remains closed. Guests have to take a longer route to Boat Dock. So this boardwalk is probably undergoing some kind of a refurbishment. So if you are staying at Fort Wilderness Lodge, just keep that in mind, that the that the boardwalk is still closed for that ongoing refurbishment. So it is going to take you a little bit longer to get to the boat dock. So just keep that in mind. Soarin' Q lighting has been refreshed as carpet replacement continues in Epcot. I haven't seen this personally yet. I'm going to go to Epcot on Monday. So I want to see this in person, but I've seen pictures of the lighting. It looks really good. Pictures sometimes don't do the lighting justice. Sometimes you have to see it in person to see how it looks, but the lighting looks really great. Looks gorgeous. I'll have to see, but it looks good. I can tell you what's not gorgeous though is that carpet. That carpet is ugly. It is abysmal. They got rid of that carpet, and it is hideous. That carpet is hideous. I don't know why Disney decided to replace that carpeting, but that new carpeting is hideous. I hate that carpet. So hopefully, sometime after Soarin' Across America overlay is done, or even before, they'll replace the carpeting. But man, that carpet is terrible. It is terrible. I hate that carpeting. It is ugly. It is really, really ugly. Magic Kingdom is testing updated rider swap procedures at 2 at two Tomorrowland attractions, one being Space Mountain and the other one being Tron Light Cycle Run. So with this, one parent can go on the ride while the other parent stays with the kid or kids. And then when that person, I say parent, person, guardian, whatever, gets done with the ride, then that person will take over for the other one, and then the other person gets a lightning lane to use for the attraction. So if your kids are not tall enough to ride Tron Light Cycle Run or Space Mountain, you can do it this way. That way, both the I'm going to say grown-ups, both the grown-ups can experience this, these attractions. So far, these are the only two attractions that's testing this right now. It could appear at other attractions. It could go away completely. So just keep that in mind. There's no we don't have confirmation yet if this is permanent or not. But you can do rider swap if you want to do Space Mountain or Tron Light Cycle Run. Orlando breaks all-time tourism record with 76 million visitors in 2025. So, the revenge travel still going on. It's, people, traveling with, revenge travel from COVID is still happening. Now, I do have to point out, because I point this out anytime I get the chance, but Walt Disney World is not in Orlando. Not in Orlando, okay? Universal is in Orlando. SeaWorld is kind of in Orlando, not really, but it's kind of in Orlando. It's just kind of down the street from Disney, off on I-4. So Universal's SeaWorld's closer to Orlando, but still not really. Universal's really the only theme park in Orlando. But Walt Disney World is not in Orlando. It's 20 miles outside of Orlando. So, but now obviously, it is close to Orlando, so that's why, it's easy, it's easy to fly into Orlando, and then, go, and then you can drive to the Walt Disney World Resort or the Universal Orlando Resort, but Walt Disney World is not in Orlando. Not in Orlando. It still surprises a lot of people, and people are like, yes, it is. It's in Orlando. I'm like, no, it's not. It is not. Okay, 20 miles is pretty far. If it was like, 3, 4, 5 miles, I'd be like, yeah, it's in Orlando. Okay, but 20 miles outside of Orlando, it's not Orlando. Okay, it's in Kissimmee. Okay, which is a suburb of Orlando, but it's not in the Orlando city limits. Okay, that's why, that's one of the reasonings, behind, Reedy Creek or Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, if that's what you want to call it. I call it Reedy Creek because the other name is nonsense, but fun fact, Walt Disney World is not in Orlando. Not in Orlando. It's close, but it's not. Okay. Um. So. But Universal is in the heart of Orlando, definitely. But Walt Disney World is not. But again, to get back on topic, um, we are continuously breaking records for um for travel. People are still coming to the resorts. Which last year kind of, I mean, it was still busy, but it kind of slowed down. With all that's going on in the world right now, without getting political, I'm just curious to see what the summer's going to be like with the international tourists. I don't know if I'm sure a lot of them are still going to come no matter what, but some of them are probably going to be like, I don't know why, maybe we shouldn't go to Florida right now, or the United States for that matter, right now because of what's going on. So, that's not saying anything political. That's just, a lot of people are thinking that. So, remember, for a lot of people that don't come to Walt Disney World or Universal, millions more come. So, millions and millions of people are still going to come, but some people are still not going to come. So, but we're still going to break travel records. So, but I think with all that's going on right now in the world, this summer's going to be interesting. It's going to be busy. Again, 4th of July. Holidays like that. It's going to be busy, but other than that, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see if we're really busy or not. Because last year it was decent. It was pretty decent last year. So we're just gonna have to see if the numbers are better or worse this year than last year. Harry Truman, Bess Truman, and Gerald Ford artifacts have been added to the Hall of Presidents lobby in the Magic Kingdom. So Disney is kind of now doing the, swapping out different presidential artifacts now, which I really like that idea. Go in every couple months and see a different exhibit. Look, I know a lot of people dislike the Hall of Presidents. You know, a lot of people want that attraction gone. But those people that say that probably don't come to this resort, or they don't come to this resort a lot. Okay, this was one of the attractions that Walt Disney wanted to make. Okay, he wanted to build he wanted to make an audio animatronics show featuring all of the presidents, past and present, in his at Disneyland. That's where he wanted to build it. Unfortunately, during his lifetime, the technology just wasn't there. So when Roy Disney, his brother, was overseeing the construction of the Walt Disney World Resort, when they were building the Magic Kingdom, he said, "We are making the Hall of Presidents. We are building. The technology has gotten better. We know what we can do. So we're going to build. We're going to build the Hall of Presidents now. So." And this will be a lasting tribute to Walt Disney. So that's what I say about the Hall of Presidents. It's not about one single president. It's not about Gerald Ford. It's not about George Washington. It's not about Teddy Roosevelt. It's not about Joe Biden. It's not about Donald Trump. It's all the presidents. Okay, it's an attraction that celebrates all of history's leaders, both past and present. Okay, so again, I know a lot of people don't like that attraction. They think it should be closed and taken away. I'm sorry. One of the last attractions that was thought up by Walt Disney, no. That's like taking away the Carousel of Progress. It's like, how dare you? If you were to close those attractions, I think myself and a bunch of people in this community would be very upset. Very, very upset. So, the Hall of Presidents, no, that's, now look, I could, I've said the same thing for Muppet Vision 3D for a long time. I've said, no, they're never closing Muppet Vision 3D, and look what happened. But with the Hall of Presidents, I don't see that happening. I really don't, at least not for a very long time. Not for a very long time, okay? Because again, this show is not about one single president. It's about all of the presidents of the United States, and it's an attraction that celebrates Walt's patriotism about this country. So if you're complaining about the attraction, you're really complaining about Walt Disney, and that really makes me upset. That really makes me upset when people are, they complain about the Hall of Presidents and be like, it needs to go away and it's old and it's outdated and blah, 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 blah. You're basically saying, I don't care about Walt Disney. Walt Disney, I don't care. So that really, really makes me upset is when people get upset about the Hall of Presidents or the Carousel of Progress. Okay? Because it's about Walt Disney and his life and his legacy and his eternal optimism. Okay? Those are what those attractions are. Those are what those attractions are supposed to represent. Okay? And if you can't see that, then I'm sorry. But that's the way it is. Okay? A little harsh, but again, that's the way it is. Okay? More walls and fresh dirt arrive at Piston Peak construction site in the Magic Kingdom. So again, we're still years away from this being completed, but construction moving at a pretty decent pace. Pretty decent pace moving. Again, I said on my last show, I'm probably going to say this for a long time, but if you want to see how construction is progressing, go ride Tiana's Bayou Adventure or Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, because those two attractions will give you a bird's eye view of the construction around that area. So if you want to see how construction is progressing, go ride those two attractions, because again, those will give you a bird's eye view of what's happening. So again, and once they get this more completed in the, years coming, once they get more of this completed, it'll be really, and I think it'll be really cool once the area opens and everything. But for right now, it'll be really cool to watch how the construction progresses when you're riding those two attractions. Cinderella Castle display inside Emporium has been painted back to the gray colors at the Magic Kingdom. So it's been painted back the correct way. So no more of that, ugly pink color. Now when you go inside the Emporium at the Magic Kingdom, you see that Cinderella Castle display. Now they've repainted that to match the castle outside. So now both versions are correct. Chrome plating has been added to animation marquee. Disney and Disney Junior posters have been removed at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So the old Disney, so I'll start with the Disney Junior posters. The old Disney Junior posters with Mickey and Minnie that were on the building for Disney Junior. Those are gone. Probably going to be replaced by some other posters. And then the actual animation marquee at the end of the street where the animation building is. They have now added chrome plating to that, so now it looks more complete. I'm really excited for this building to open. I'm going to have a very busy day, on because the animation, the Magic of Disney animation opens, the Disney Junior show opens, and then Bluey's Wild World opens at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Certain thing, I think, other things for cool kids summer open at Epcot. So I will be very busy at the Magic Kingdom come I think it's May 26th, I believe it is. So it's going to be a very busy day. Very, very, very busy day. And of course, Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets opens as well. So it's going to be a long day going to different parks, filming all of this content. So it's gonna be a very busy day. Very, 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 very busy day. Patina employees demand Disney no longer give restaurant group business. This is Patina is part of a third party that operates at Walt Disney World with Epcot and Disney Springs. A lot of those places are third party, and then some of them are unionized. And the unions are now demanding better wage compensation for their employees, which I totally support. Now, look, I used to belong in a union when I worked at Kroger many years ago, so I support unions. I know that we're really not supposed to talk about unions anymore. They're like, oh, you can't say the U word, the unions, oh my God, they're so bad and blah, blah. Really not bad. They're really not bad, okay? Now, there's some things that, again, with, all businesses that, I don't agree with, but unions are there to protect workers. So, as long as the unions do that, then I support unions, okay? If unions are not going to do that, then what's the point in having a union if you're not going to help support your employees? So, but I support unions. I know I'm probably going to get a lot, some backlash over that. I don't care. I support unions. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets logo sign has been installed on guitar at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So again, when I go on my very busy day to Hollywood Studios, I'll be filming everything. So, but right now I've only seen this in pictures, but it looks good. It looks fresh, up to date. I won't get into my rant on the archway because I already did that on another show. But the guitar and the car and all of the other stuff, that looks great. The actual show building, the facade of the building, I don't know how I feel about that. They repainted that, so I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that yet. But they have they've now installed the logo sign on the guitar outside of Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. Bus loop at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort is almost completed. So, you may. So all of this construction on Floridian Way, which is right behind, the Polynesian, that whole area has been undergoing a lot of construction over the past couple years. Hopefully, I don't know when it'll all be completed. It was supposed to be completed already. They still haven't completed it, so who knows when they're going to get this done? I don't know. But but at least the bus loop is done, so that's that makes some progress in the area. Gideon's Bakehouse savory location is opening at Disney Springs sometime this summer. When? We don't know. But as soon as we have a date, we'll let you know. Gideon's obviously a very popular bakehouse. So it's smart that Disney is adding a second location. They're probably going to need more as time goes on. But we'll just have to wait and see with that one. But at least they're adding a second location to kind of ease the traffic off of that other one. Because every time I walk by that Gideon's, the line is always insane. Always crazy. Tower of Terror queue refurb begins at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So, the exterior queue, this is not the interior queue as far as I know. This is just the exterior queue. But the exterior queue for Tower of Terror is now under refurbishment. So you may see or hear refurbishment work in that area. Probably just keeping things, maintenance, general maintenance, wear and tear, a lot of foot traffic. So just keeping the area up to date and up to par. Hollywood Studios pass holder reservations are now gone for opening of Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run Mandalorian Mission. So hopefully, if you're a pass holder, you got your reservations. I know someone in the comments probably going to be like, "You don't have to make reservations anymore." Yes, us pass holders, yes, we do. We still have to make reservations. Now, look, I don't understand why, but that's Disney knows the numbers, I guess. I don't know, but I think it's outrageous to kind of still make reservations, but that's Disney's thing, not mine. But a lot of people that aren't from here, whenever us pass holders comment on something like this, someone comes in and they're like, "You don't have to make reservations anymore." Yes, we do. Pass holders have to make reservations. We still have to make reservations. Why? I have no idea. Stop asking me, because I don't know. I have no idea. Okay? Electric Mayhem posters have been added to Rock and Roller Coaster exterior queue. These are just outside of the building before you kind of go underneath that shaded roof. Right underneath are brand new posters for the Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. Again, I haven't seen these in person yet, so but they look look great. They look good. So when I go, again, I'm going to film all of this. So, but again, these posters look nice. They look really good. Encanto Ride Building gets exterior paneling at Disney's Animal Kingdom. This is another one of those where they're moving pretty good, at a pretty good pace. So, when is the Encanto ride opening? No idea. First, again, still, Tropical Americas is supposed to open sometime next year. Knock on wood. I don't have any wood, and well, I guess this chair is kind of wood. We're gonna knock on chair wood for the Tropical Americas sometime next year. Again, we don't know if it's going to open in phases or if it's going to open all at once. We're just going to, again, kids, say it with me. We're just going to have to wait and see. All right. The words Muppets have been added. The word Muppets has been added to Rock and Roller Coaster entrance and the upside-down car license plate at Disney's Hollywood Studios. So, that hideous archway now says Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. It used to say Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith. Now it says Rock and Roller Coaster starring the Muppets. And on the upside-down car, they've added a new license plate on the front, and now it says Muppets. The car looks great. Looks fantastic. That archway is hideous. Again, I've already been down that road already. But both letterings have now been added to the archway and the car. And our last story is Vacation Fun starring Mickey and Minnie is now open again at Disney's Hollywood Studios following a refurbishment. I don't really know why they closed this for refurbishment. Probably just general maintenance and stuff, but this, they used, I don't know if they used the bill. Again, I wasn't there for May 4th, so I don't know. I don't know if they used the inside of the building for Star Wars merchandise, or if it was just the little queue outside of the building. I don't know. But this is great. Another thing added to Disney's Hollywood Studios, adding more capacity, which we're gonna need for this summer. So glad to see that this short film is once again playing at the theater. So, but there you are. There's your news for this week. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to this channel for more content. I thank you guys very much for watching this video. I will see you right back here on Monday for Monday's show. Until then, y'all keep each other safe and healthy. And remember that tomorrow is just a dream away.